I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting show, and welcome to today's program. Tell you what, friends, it is a beautiful fall day. Got old Blue Corral off up there. He's out of the way, so we can do a little shooting here this afternoon. You know, when you do have pets, let me remind you, you have to watch them, because sometimes you'll come across an animal that is not afraid of gunfire like old Blue, my dog there. And you do have to pay special attention, because you don't want to injure a pet or anything else for that matter that you can't afford to injure, or you can't afford to lose, or can't afford to shoot. Well, friends, we are indeed happy to be here. We're very, very pleased to be on the air with our shooting show, because you know what we're about? We're about telling the truth about firearms, whether it's an AR-15 or a Model 94 Winchester, whatever it may be. We're here to tell the truth, because we're saying that if the American people are exposed to the truth in a logical manner, guess what? They're going to make the right decision. We had a great victory this week in Washington State. Of course, we've been campaigning against I-676 here on the program, on our radio show also, and honestly, friends, we had a great victory. And you know what? 71% of the people, and this was highly promoted. It was essentially an anti-handgun bill. It was a bill to license people who might have handguns in their home. And I heard one of the folks up there say, who was in support of the bill, he said, well, you license your cars, you license drivers. Well, guess what, friends? Cars or drivers are not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution of the United States. And you know what? No group of people has ever used a car to foment or take back a government. There's never been an automobile has been the primary instrument by which people kept their freedom. See there? Their logic simply will not hold up. Problem is, when you have people licensing others to own or to even carry handguns, problem comes down to that you have some anti-gun people. Even some of these things may have been started with good intentions. Then you'll have some anti-gun people come into administration, into authority, and guess what? Nobody gets to have a permit. Nobody gets permission, because the liberal socialists, friends, they are scared to death to have guns of whatever type in the hands of we, the honest citizen. Because you know why? Because they know that we, the honest citizen, the producing American, the people that actually do stuff, are not going to go for their socialist policies, their socialist, ridiculous policies, whereas they take everything from the producing people and spread it all around. What they do is they spread the misery. They don't spread the wealth. They spread the misery. And they know that we as producers in this country, people that actually work, that do things, are never going to come along willingly for their socialist policy. And you know what? These guns, whether it's this Colt AR-15 or this Winchester Model 94 or this SKS, you see, you can never have complete control of people that own these weapons. You can never have a police state when you have private ownership of these weapons. You can't do it. So that's what it's about, friends. We want to congratulate the good folks there in Washington. And you know what? For voting this thing down, you know what? That is complete evidence. Yes, there's hope for our country. There's hope for our way of life. There's hope for us to keep these guns in our homes, to keep our other liberties. But you know what? We cannot do it by sitting down, laying down, staying out of the way, not being noticed, keeping a low profile. Can't do it like that. We have to get involved. We have to. Just like on this program, friends, it is so important that we have a proper image, a proper vision of guns here on TV. We have to do it. And thanks to a lot of you out there, we're able to do it here today, thanks to your help. In fact, friends, this battle is heating up. The New World Order, the socialists, realize that in December, Bill Clinton is supposed to sign a climate control, some sort of treaty, United Nations deal. It's supposed to be global. It's not. Some of the worst polluters, like China, are not even affected by this bill. And guess what? Guess who's going to have to pay? It's us. It's going to drive our gasoline prices up 50 or 60 cents a gallon. It's going to increase our electric bills. It's going to drive jobs out of the United States. And I'm trying to, your language can get real colorful if you're not careful. Bill Clinton and the rest of his socialist regime in Washington are promoting this because, you know what, friends? They don't care what happens to us. No, they don't care. They only want our money. They only want our cooperation, or they only want us to work for them. They really don't care. They don't care about the welfare of this country. These people don't have morals. They don't care. What they want is power, and absolute power. And Bill Clinton's already said he's going to sign this thing. It is going to punish. This is one of the few things that some of the more diverse groups like the AFL-CIO, they're even agreeing with this. Some of these folks are wanting to call a 1-hour strike in December to get the politicians' approval. People are saying, well, Congress or the Senate will never ratify this treaty. Well, guess what? We're blessed with the biodiversity treaty. They didn't ratify that either. And yet, we're facing the conditions of it. Look on the signs for some of our national parks. A United Nations biosphere on Yellowstone. This is insane, friends. And if we don't stand now, and tell them that we're not going to let them get away with it, they're going to do all kinds of things to us. You know, one of the things that we have been so against, one of the reasons we have really tried as hard to stay on the air as we could, is because the media lies about what these guns are. They lie about what their capabilities are. The organized media is one lie after another. And we have felt for so long that there's got to be a way to get the truth out to more people. Right now, we're negotiating for many, many millions more households that this program can go to. We need your help to get there. You know, I get tired of asking for money, but you know what? Because we have asked, that's how we're here today. If it wasn't for your cooperation, if it weren't for your contributions, no, we wouldn't be on, because you folks, you listeners out there, you viewers out there, are the reason we're here, because this program speaks for so many of you out there. And what we've got to do is get our message to more people. If you can help us, if you can send $5 or $50 or $500, whatever you can send, honestly, friends, if you can help us, please send to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. Please, whatever you can do. Our zip code, 71024. If you want to call us, if you can help sponsor our program, you can join our Shooting Show support group, which is a less expensive portion of our sponsors, people that have small businesses. They don't have a lot to spend, but hey, we can use it. We can use whatever we can get. You can join our Shooting Show support group. You can call us, area 318-377-5189. And please, friends, please remember our sponsors. When you think about needing ammunition for whatever gun you have, please call Georgia Arms. If you want one of the great 1919 Brownings, if you really want the neatest fun gun you ever saw, please remember NWI and give them a call on the 30-06 1919 or their new 50 Browning. Please remember Clark Custom Guns if you need any sort of custom work, because you know what? When our sponsors can see some results, it makes it easier for them to spend those dollars here with us on the program. Friends, this is a job that has to be done. And we're here in the driver's seat, certainly, but you're fueling the bus. You folks are. And we appreciate all your cards and letters. I appreciate your phone calls. You know, I try and talk to as many people as possible during the week, certainly as time will permit. So, hey, friends, we're here because of all of us. It's not just my efforts or just the judge or any. It's all of us together is why we're here. And you know what? There is hope. These people in Washington are scared to death of us as gun owners. They're afraid the truth's going to get out. You know, the Janet Reno has not released, they refuse to release some of the Justice Department reports on what the crime bill has done, just what the Brady bill has really done. They can't do it. They don't want to do it, friends, because it's all malarkey, what they've been telling us here in Washington for years about the effects of gun control. Did you know that every place in the United States where concealed carry laws have been enacted, when the government actually trusted its citizens, guess what? Crime has gone down. Without exception, everywhere that there has been provisions made where people could carry concealed weapons. crime has gone down. And you know, they don't want to tell you that out of Washington. They're scared to death that there's going to be a mass movement across this country to throw these people out. We're hoping, friends, there is hope. You see, we won this big one this past week. That Washington state bill was a big one. You had a number of the anti-gun people watching that to see just how they could implement that in their own state. So many things happening, friends. Well, as we were talking about, the media and the government does not tell the truth, certainly about their intentions or about these guns. We have some watermelons out here. And yeah, it's late in the year for watermelons. We've got a few leftovers here from this past summer, and you'd be surprised just how long they will last. In fact, a couple of years ago, I shot the last watermelon I could see in the field on Christmas Day, actually. So, no, they're not good to eat. And we've got air traffic this afternoon. I don't know. Heck, some of those, the government may be spying on us. Who knows? But we're not going to let it bother us a bit. They can watch our program. It's free to them, too. Anyway, we have the so-called assault rifle. It's not true. This is not an assault gun because it is not full auto. And we have our standard U.S. military 223 cartridge, the 5.56 millimeter. And let's just see, you know, they're talking about how fearsome these guns are, how fearsome that military caliber. Let's look at something here. Let's start our program today. Got our volunteer watermelon. Let's shoot our watermelon with our 223 AR-15. And friends, it's sort of just kind of laid there. It blew up fairly well. Let me unload our AR-15 here, because we're going to set it down. I check them 3 times, remember? 3 times to be sure it's empty. Reload that cartridge back in the magazine there. Okay, let's take an SKS. A lot of you are familiar with this cartridge. This is the 7.62 by 39 Russian military round, the one that has been said that is so devastating on by the national media. Let's just see. Let's shoot our next watermelon with that. And friends, you can see that the 7.62 39, it blew it up pretty good. But now then, let's take our 30-30 Winchester. Been around since 1894, over 100 years. We got one more watermelon. Now then, friends, honestly, this 30-30 has a much greater power capability than this AR-15 or this SKS. And see, the anti-government, the anti-gun people have not come after these just yet. But see, the real power is in, you know, and a lot of people feel like the 30-30 is minimal for deer, not even close to the power available in 30-06 or a 7mm Remington Magnum or a 300 Winchester. Not the same thing at all. See, the real power is in these guns, as we have showed before on the program. And guess what? This 30-30 Winchester can be rapidly fired. So, as we said on last week's show, the anti-gun people are going to be calling this a sniper carbine. So, see, friends, it's all a facade. They're reasoning. A lot of people didn't have these military-type rifles at home, so they were able to sneak through that or snooker the public on the assault-type weapons bill. It's all a lie, friends. It's just a lie. And that's what we have to do, is simply tell the truth. Well, we're so glad you joined us for today's program. We think you're going to be pleased with things you're going to see on today's show. Let's go on with the shooting show.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today.
Now, friends, we're going to look at something today that I think may turn out to be more important than we realize. But, you know, many times people call and they say, well, what kind of gun should I have for defense? Or what's the best thing? Well, honestly, I'm going to tell you our conclusion before we even get started today. It's not as much the gun you have as long as it is in a reasonable caliber with reasonable bullet types. It comes back to the individual on how well an individual can use whatever they have. You know, in the past, we wouldn't have thought too much about single action revolvers being useful in action shooting, or being I've heard a lot of defense authorities or certainly gun writers say, oh no, don't ever pick a single action for defense. Well, as I said on previous programs, we're going to re-examine some of these things that people have said about how or maybe whether or not some of these guns should be used for defense. And honestly, friends, I think the reload is vastly overstated in importance. Here I found in my junk box out there the other day, I found a 15-round magazine for the 1911. I'll show you this. And, you know, it's, of course, pre-banned, of course. But see how the gun looks with that 15-round, but for someone who wanted a 15-round 45 ACP, and it works. It actually does. Anyway, the point of what we're going to do, we're going to run an experiment here on shooting on timed shots in rapid shooting. I think you'll be surprised. Incidentally, the 41 Magnum Black Hawk is back in production at Ruger. We had featured this gun a while back. It is certainly one of the neatest little guns I'm aware of, and compared to our Super Black Hawk, yes, it is a smaller or comparatively little gun. But these guns are so nice. They're carryable, portable packages. They have power levels that are more shootable than the 44 Magnum, but certainly approach some of the 44 Magnum loadings. No, it's not a 44, but the 41 is one of the best handgun cartridges out there. And due to popular demand, of course, we've been promoting the 41 here on this program as a handgun cartridge for years now. And of course, there are all kinds of good handgun cartridges, but the 41 is a lot better than the attention it has gotten. And these Black Hawks are back in production. Ruger's gone back. I talked to one of their head engineers, Dick Ballou, at the SHOT Show last year, and I said, "Hey, Dick, what about making some more 41 caliber guns?" He said, "Oh no, probably never see it again." Well, guess what? They've gone back into production on the 6.5-inch Black Hawks and the 4 5/8, which is a super carryable package. And this gun is every bit as accurate as our 657 Smith & Wesson. It'll shoot into less than 2 inches at 25 yards. And the beauty part about these little guns, yes, you can shoot the lower. We cooked up some target velocities or target grade ammunition for these things, and very mild. And watch it in my hands and recoil as we speak. Very mild. See, very mild. See, very easy to shoot well and rapidly. And then you have the option. Now, Blue, you stay back. So I start shooting the gun. Here comes Blue. And we have some guests on the range, and you folks might want to watch your hearing as we're about to shoot. This is a louder one today. So we still have the option of the 44 Magnum-esque. Blue, get back. Get over here. Thank you very much. Full-powered 41 Magnum. Ooh. See, and even with the full-powered cartridges, it's still very shootable. It's very controllable in the single-action gun. That was Buford Pusser commemorative, our Buford load there. And let me tell you what, we're working with Georgia Arms now on a 41 Magnum loading that is going to be made available here hopefully in the very near future, because there are a lot of these guns. This is really an ideal carrying gun, backup gun for the hunter, and a darn good home defense gun. It's good for anything you can do with a handgun. You've seen Harold Terry, former Sheriff Terry, here on the program a number of times, and hopefully he'll be on again next week. But he actually has carried, and Harold has forgotten more about shooting and guns than most of us will ever know. That's true. He actually carried a Black Hawk for a while on duty with the Sheriff's Department. And for any of you who've met Harold Terry, and some of you have down at our Fun Gun Weekend, some of you come through and met him, Harold is not, he's as capable a person as I have ever met with a gun. And believe me, he did not feel underarmed carrying a single action Black Hawk on duty. Now some of the departments might, that was several years ago, but trust me on this one, Harold Terry is a serious, like I said, he's as capable a person of handling any sort of gun as I've ever met. So for him to do that, he felt pretty good about it. We're going to be shooting our Black Hawk, Super Black Hawk, actually in .44 Magnum today, mainly because I have more ammunition made up for it. But we're going to do a little test, and theoretically, it wouldn't fare too well against this double action Smith & Wesson or this 1911. But we have 5 targets out here, and you know, only hits count. Any of you can blast away on the 1911 or some of the semi-automatics. Yeah, you can shoot one a little faster than you can one of these. Remember, only hits count. So let's see how that looks. And bear in mind, we have a strong target load here, 240 grain lead bullet at around 900 feet per second. Very shootable. And again, since it's a single action, the boomer loads like this 240 grain jacketed bullet running along at 1,400 feet per second is still very shootable in the single action. Well, got our target set up. Let's do some shooting. Now friends, we're going to use our Pro Timer. Honestly, this is from Competition Electronics, and this has been such a good one. And we have used this timer for years now. And we had a little malfunction with it a while back. You know what I did? I sent it back to them. They fixed it immediately. It was back within days. Their equipment has been just super. And trust me, we've had it out here shooting in the rain, falling down with it. It has really been a good piece of equipment. So we'll go ahead and get our timer on here, and let's shoot our 1911 first. Got it loaded. We're going to put 5 rounds. We got 5 targets here, and our steel disc over here. We're going to shoot all of these, and let's see what kind of time it takes. Remember, only hits count. So we'll turn our timer on. It will start me when it gets ready to, and I'll be in the low ready position. 5 targets. See what happens. Okay. And we have actually not a terrific run, but you know, I'm like anybody else. I don't hit where I want to every time, but it took 2.72 seconds. Well, let's take a look at what I'm seeing over my front sight. Let's take a look at it, and we'll keep that run. You know, like I said, not all of them go as well as I would like, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. Here it is, friends, 5 shots, 2.72 seconds, and I have said the whole time I'm just your average shooter here. And looking over my sights, we'll see my first target, or this is what I was seeing, is a good hit in our center. And we'll go to target number 2. I had a good hit here. Target number 3 is not so, it's just outside the first circle. And target number 4, I broke the line on our second circle there. Really, that's not a real good hit, but hey, it's still a hit on the target. And of course, we have our steel disc. So 2.72 seconds, a representative time for what we're doing. Now then, friends, we have our double action revolver. This is our clip loaded, actually, model 625 Smith & Wesson. This is as good a revolver as money can buy. So 2.72 for our time with our 1911. Again, I'm your average shooter with a little practice. Any one of you with practice could do as well as I can. And of course, that's what it's about. We're taking a regular person not a professional shooter, just a regular person with practice, and show you what can be done. Okay, let's try our double action revolver, 5 shots. Hopefully I'll hit the target a little better. 2.72 seconds for our 1911. Let's take a look at it. Okay, well, I slowed down a little bit there. 3.14 seconds, a little slower, but I had all hits. I was probably rushing a little bit with my semi-automatic, which a lot of us will do sometimes. Let's look at my hits. Okay, friends, 3.14 seconds, and looking as just like over the sights of the 625 here. We've got a good hit here in the center on this, on target number 1. We've got a good hit on target number 2, a good center hit on number 3, and see, just me slowing down a little bit, good hit on number 4, and we hit the steel plate on 5. And see, just the fact that we slowed down here some really improved my accuracy. Friends, we've got a Mexican radio station that's coming across on our audio system this afternoon, so if you think you hear some Mexicans talking in the background, well, it probably is. Anyway, it's bleeding through a little bit on our tape, and due to weather conditions, who knows what else, so you may hear that from time to time. Hey, we're low budget. Anyway, let's go on with our shooting deal. Okay, we got our Super Black Hawk with our target ammunition in it, and let's see, we're talking about 2.7 some odd seconds for the semi-automatic, not with terrific hits. Good hits with the 625 revolver. Let's try the single action. Let's do it. 3.14 double action. Let's see. Here we go. Yes, indeed. Well, hits were pretty good, comparable to the semi-automatic. How about 2.94 seconds? Let's take a look at the targets. See, friends, the Super Black Hawk here, our first target was a good hit in the center there. Target number 2 was a good hit. Now, I got a little off there on 3, but it's still on the line of our second ring there. Again, about like our semi-automatic. And on target number 4, just outside the inner circle there, still a pretty good hit. And of course our steel target. So the old Super Black Hawk has performed really well. Now, friends, I'm not sandbagging. We're just trying to demonstrate a point that really it's not so much the gun as it is the individual behind it. Now then, to speed up, most of us shoot a 45 or a single action revolver like this. We'll thumb cock it there and we'll shoot it. Line up that front sight, and that's how we'll do it. Now, for more rapid shooting with the less powerful loads, if you have the super powered loads, it's going to roll up in your hand. It's very easy to cock again with your same thumb. But if you want to go for pure speed, you know, fanning will destroy these guns. It'll tear any of them up unless they're specially modified. But you can shoot pretty rapidly by cocking with this off thumb. See, much faster than by just using your grip thumb. So that's something we thought we might show you. It is faster, and I'm not holding the trigger down and just doing this. No, it takes a little bit of practice. I'm cocking it with my offhand thumb and then pulling the trigger. So you can do it remarkably. Of course, it takes a little practice. You'll miss one every once in a while, but it can be done rapidly.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nodular bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show. Now, friends, the reason we're going to all this trouble is there may be some, there may be legislation in the future that takes the semi-automatics away from us. And one good thing, the single actions, some of the authorities around the country don't seem to see these as being as serious, or maybe the police might not give you as hard a time if they stopped you and you had a single action in your car. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But we darn sure need to take a look at different types of things. And again, some people out there can't afford to buy all the gizmos. And honestly, friends, as we've said at the beginning, my premise is it makes less difference on what kind of equipment or what style of equipment you have if you learn to use what you've got. Let's run another quick experiment here. We have two targets here as if we'd have two different adversaries that we'd have to deal with quickly. And I believe that it's a better idea to shoot each target once and then come back to it 1, 1, 1, 1, rather than just blast two and two on one target, two over here, as some people call the double tap. The problem is if you have multiple adversaries, and I've talked to a lot of different people about this, and some folks are capable of shooting very rapidly twice, but most of us are not. And Harold Terry and I were talking about this the other day, and in the real world, if you need to shoot a target twice, shoot all your targets, come back to the one you need to shoot twice. Because let's say I'm shooting this one 2 or 3 or 4 times, well, what about this character over here? He could be shooting me while I'm shooting the first target multiple times. So my own feeling is we should do more practicing shooting each target once rather than the double tap. A lot of people talk about self-defense shooting and write about self-defense shooting that really have not been in the real world. You take people like Harold Terry, who, as a sheriff for many years, as a law enforcement officer for many years, who really has been in the well-known trenches and understands what this is about. This is just a concept that I think needs to be reconsidered. We're going to put 4 shots on the 2 targets here at close range as rapidly as we can. And of course, we want to hit our target. We're not just blasting now, we want to hit our target. Well, let's go ahead and start our timer here. Low ready position. Let's do it. Okay, 1.64 seconds. And we have good hits, 2 in 1 hole there is lucked up. But we got 2 hits over here that are good, solid hits. And if I could find my tape, I would tape the target. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't that amazing how it just appeared out of the air, friends? Okay, let me tape these right quick. And so we'll know where we hit. All right. Let's take our semi-automatic. 1.64 seconds for 4 shots on the 2 targets, good hits. Take our semi-automatic, see what it looks like. Okay, 1.79 seconds. So for some unknown reason, I don't know why, I was a little bit slower, but still, we're still under 2 seconds comfortably. And we had good hits in the center. And you know, when you go out to your target range, wherever you get to go and shoot your gun, you need to practice some close drills like this, because in all probability, that target's not going to be out there at 20 or 25 yards or 50 yards. It's going to be right on top of you when you have to defend your life. Now then, all right, let's take our Super Blackhawk single action, 1.79 for the 1911. Just again, our kind of target time here is under 2 seconds for 4 shots on 2 targets. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have good hits, 1.7 seconds. See, moving between the 2 targets, I don't lose anything because I'm cocking the gun as I'm going between the 2 targets. And we have good hits here. So, again, friends, back to the drawing board here. It's whatever you have, if you don't mind going out and practicing with it and learning to handle it properly, learning to shoot it. That's one of the great things about Georgia Arms. You can actually buy ammunition from them. You can afford to buy ammunition to practice with. Certainly those of us that reload have a still further advantage, but for those of you who don't, you can buy ammunition from Georgia Arms. The single actions really have a lot of qualities that many of us could use, and I'm not that sure about how important the reload is in a real confrontation. One, the calibers they're available in are tend to be so powerful as your targets may not need a lot of shooting to get their attention, shall we say. But this is something that I think, you know, you read a lot of the publications, gun magazines, and that's fine. We all like to look at what's new. But I'm not so sure that a lot of the new stuff that's come along is really that much better than the stuff we've had the whole time. It may be different, may be worthwhile, but it's not so much the equipment you have as the skill that you develop with it. And I think that is really the basis of our whole experiment here, is learning to use whatever you've got. Friends, here we are at Clark Custom Guns. We're going to see a little cowboy action shooting this morning. Let's go see what it looks like. Welcome back.
Quite a group here this morning, friends, and everybody's out. In fact, they will succeed in having a good time. A good friend, Harold Terry, who you've seen on the program a number of times, is an enthusiastic cowboy shooter. Glad to see him this morning. Friends, you see, we've got one scenario here and some ferocious looking little bad fellow there as targets, and we can hear an IPSC match in progress on another portion of the range here today. Now here's the rack of a very well-equipped shooter. See a double shotgun, a Model 97 Winchester, model looks like an 1866 Henry or Yellow Boy. So, see what we're going to do at this stage.
Well, when everybody gets gathered up, I'll read.
And the little red wagon is one of the handiest things because shooters have a lot of gear and shells and things to carry around. Let's watch this particular stage. This stage is going to require shotgun and the revolver. And friends, look at some of the gear that these folks have. I mean, we're talking real enthusiasm here. And we'll be safety is a primary consideration.
It is a reload. It's a reload.
And
You don't have to.
this will include the shotgun and the revolvers we said earlier. I think 6 shotgun rounds. These folks are well equipped.
One gun you should have 5 caps on. The other one no caps on. You put your caps on.
The
First one up,
Colt type revolvers are at no disadvantage here because they only allow 5 rounds in a gun at a time. From our veterans that we've had on the program before, hold up. This is Tom Elliott, who's going to shoot now. He's an IPSC shooter, and I'm being coached here by my friend Harold Terry on the side. Harold, a lot of IPSC shooters are now shooting cowboy action shooting, aren't they?
They've gone to it because it's just a different way of shooting. It's a lot less stressful, and you have to shoot 3 guns at doing the whole.
And I think you would say the camaraderie is a little different.
A lot different, John.
Folks sitting around, and of course we got a good turnout for this morning's match.
I think there's 47 shooters here, 50.
That's great.
And more came in just a while ago, and they had 47 on the road.
Of course, you and I have been talking about there may be more to these cowboy type guns than we've given credit in the past. Am I correct? Well, let's watch Tom in action.
Tom's getting on the wrong side there, see?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today. NWI for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod, but these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001.
And hold the phone, stop the presses, friends. They now are making the 50 Browning available, and just picture the gun you're looking at here, just about twice as big with that gigantic 50 Browning cartridge. Trust me on this one, friends, these guns will not be available forever. If Clintonians have their way, they'd sure like to take them away right now. But you still can get them, and realize for every gun that NWI sells on our program, they will donate an extra $300 toward keeping us on the air. So if you're interested in the 1919 Brownings, the A4 or A6, or the new 50 Browning semi-automatic conversion, give them a call, area 503-429-5001.
All right, goes for his second gun. The best reload, huh, Harold?
Best reload, the second.
Second gun.
He's got to load.
Oh, he's got to load. He only got one.
One loaded gun. That's the one he had laying on the side of it.
Oh, okay. And only hits count. Am I right, sir?
10 seconds if you miss one. They add to your score.
Got it. He didn't load his gun fully. Now he's got his shotgun. He has to load it. Of course, safety is a prime consideration. And of course, that's a 97 Winchester. Well, heck, looks like he's having a little difficulty there. Of course, they're old guns, aren't they, Harold?
Yeah, and an old shooter, too.
Well, and you can only load, what, 2 shells at a time? That's all you get. And he had, this is a six round drill, I believe. And he's going for it, just having a little difficulty. All right, that's Tom Elliott. Harold, looks like we've got more gun there than we have holster. Look at this barrel. My friends, you can see the scabbard here on the saddle.
Pistol, reload, second pistol, Tom. Right to left.
That's correct.
Shotgun, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's correct, sir.
Correct. Are you ready?
You are Snake Rock, right?
With this timer, so bear with me. All right.
See how the shooter's going to do.
All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
At this stage, you have to reload. Mandatory reload for the revolver. Safety is always a prime consideration for matches. Here we go. Now we got a shotgun.
One more round in the pistol, dude.
Go ahead with
I do.
shotgun. Go ahead with shotgun.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
76.99. 1 miss. That's all right.
They're gone.
Have a young man here who's going to
Any questions?
certainly a family sport. The ladies and children are welcome contestants.
Up this way with the one gun, and then the other three come back this side and shoot that way. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay?
Okay, let's see how this young man does.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Got it. There, friends. Doing extremely well. Oop, had one miss. Now he's got to load his other gun. That's all right. We're concerned here about safety, about getting it done properly. Now, see how he's good. That has a great. Remember, he has to load the shotgun. 2 shells. He's got a double. Now then, got it. He's hitting the pointer target there. Great. And a good job. Great fun. Good morning. Here we go. We'll shoot the metal target.
eagle is tied.
This particular fella shooting in the duelist class, if you'll notice, he's using one hand to shoot the gun like the old cowboys use. That's a separate class called the duelist.
Right.
All of his pistol shooting can be done one-handed.
So this is dueling versus, say, slip shooting, cocking with the offhand thumb. Am I right there, Bill?
That's the way the real cowboys did it. You didn't see Sparge Rogers using two hands on his gun.
Well, that's a good point.
That's the cowboy class, is when they use two guns. But,
all right, he's shooting a target over here. There we go.
and the moving target fixing.
Now, here we go. And then he's got a standing target here to hit the last shot. Well, friends, I tell you what, it's great sport. And these shooters are going to have a great time out here today. Friends, we hope you're enjoying our program today. We certainly are enjoying bringing it to you. You know, we are really supporting the cowboy action shooting sport because it's going to help all of us as shooters, helps our image. You know, the anti-gun people can't do much with those cowboy outfits. They have a lot of trouble with that, and we support anything that gives the anti-gun people trouble. We want to welcome a new sponsor in our shooting show support group. This is James Calhoun Bullets. He makes super quality 22 caliber and 17 caliber varmint bullets. Now, these are not loaded rounds. These are bullets. And hopefully on next week's program we'll get a chance to shoot some of these and give a demonstration. We really appreciate James Calhoun coming on to help us in our support group. His number is, if you'd like to call them, and talk about their super quality varmint bullets, you can by calling area 406-395-4079. Again, area 406-395-4079. Also want to recognize our good friend Dennis Crocker, who is a firearms trainer in South Carolina. Dennis is authorized to go throughout the state of South Carolina and give courses in safety, basic pistol protection, concealed carry, and certainly we appreciate his support on our project. You can call Dennis Crocker at area 864-587-8722. Again, 864-587-8722. And our good friends Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie at Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Whatever leatherwork you may need, from a saddle, bridle, or holster, or special work on shoes, you can call them area 504-667-9225. Again, Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery, area 504-667-9225. Friends, I want to tell you the fluid film is going good. You can send $19.95 for 2 of the large cans fluid film. Send it to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowlands Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code 71024. Send $19.95. That includes shipping and handling. This is the best lubricant, the best penetrating fluid. It's better than anything we've ever seen. And if you've been watching our show for a few weeks, you've seen some of the things we've done with it. So you can do that. And let me remind you, please, friends, we're here today in part because of your contributions. If you can help us, if you can send $5 or $15 or $50 or $500, please, if you can help us stay on the air, send to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowlands Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code 71024. Our phone number 318-377-5189. And you know, sometimes things happen on the range. We're down there doing the program that don't quite make the cut on the program. Here's something that a little humorous the other day that you might like to see. Okay, 12-shot drill. Took us a little smoke there. Took us 6.34 seconds. All right. Go ahead and take our, like I said, the old magazine does work. Heck, 12 rounds. Just came apart. Well, we'll find the pieces. Edit. There's bullets everywhere. 2. We'll cut that out. You know, friends, you can't trust those off-brand magazines. We keep saying that. You never know what they'll do for you. Anyway, please listen to our radio show on the American Freedom Network on Sunday from noon until 2 o'clock. on your local affiliate, or you can watch us on or listen on satellite. Watch us on the radio, right? GE1 Channel 7 5.8 audio. Also, please remember our gospel show on Sunday morning from 10 to 10:30 Eastern Time on G4 Channel 14. And certainly we have a strong audience for our gospel show. That's a very important program for us. Well, friends, I tell you what, the fight goes on and we're in it. Please help us if you can. We have some great features in upcoming weeks for you. We hope we can remain on the air. Please help us if you can. Until then, we'll see you on the next program. If you want to go for pure speed, you know, fanning will destroy these guns. It'll tear any of them up unless they're specially modified. But you can shoot pretty rapidly by cocking with this off thumb. See, much faster than by just using your grip thumb. So that's something we thought we might show you. It is faster, and I'm not